Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. We've spent this section of the course learning about the different types of malware. We've seen how they can infect your computer, spread around the network, spy on your activity, steal your data, or hold you to ransom. You have seen just how scary some of this stuff can be. Here's the good news. In this video, we're going to be going over how you can protect yourself from malware and keep your personal and company devices safe and secure. Okay, so to keep malware out of our systems is going to take a multiple-pronged approach, meaning there is no one tool or policy that will keep us safe 100% of the time. So we must develop a strategy using multiple methods. There are many tools and methods that we can use, but here are some of the most common ways to protect yourself against malware. One of the first line of defenses when it comes to malware is a strong email protection product. Email remains one of the top attack vectors when it comes to malware infections, and there's no sign of this stopping anytime soon. By using email protection, it can detect and block suspicious emails before they even reach your inbox. They use several techniques to identify bad emails, including analyzing the sender's reputation, checking for known spammy content, scanning incoming emails for malware, phishing attempts, and other malicious content. Some can even sandbox suspicious attachments. This is where they open them in a controlled environment to see if they exhibit any harmful behavior before delivering them to your inbox. Most email providers will have security at some level already. This is usually enough for personal email accounts. However, businesses often purchase and set up additional email security tools to protect their users' email accounts. Companies such as Mimecast, Proofpoint, and Abnormal all provide business-level email protection. Next, let's imagine that a malicious email does get through the email defenses and a user clicks on a dodgy attachment. Or maybe the malware isn't on an email at all. Maybe it was downloaded from the internet or copied from a USB drive. Either way, our next line of defense is going to be our endpoint protection software. But what is endpoint protection? Well, antivirus software, or AV, is probably the first thing that comes to mind when talking about stopping viruses and malware, right? The term antivirus, antimalware, and endpoint protection is often used interchangeably, but they technically have some distinct differences. While antivirus and antimalware focus on protecting against malware, endpoint protection goes further by adding additional security features. Endpoint protection can also include features like firewalls, intrusion detection, web filtering, and more. To be honest, it doesn't really matter which term you use, but just for clarity, I will be using the term endpoint protection. So the endpoint protection software is installed on each computer. It monitors the files on the device and the process is running, looking for malware. It will also scan files opened from emails, USB sticks, or downloaded from the internet. If it finds malware, it will block it from running, quarantine it so it can't be accessed, and then completely remove it. Let me show you a basic example of this. Here I have a computer. Now the built-in Windows security is currently running and protecting this machine. And I also have a zip file which contains some malware. Now the zip file is currently password protected, so the Windows security can't see inside. But if I come over and right click on the zip file and extract the files, insert my password and hit OK, it doesn't take long for the Windows security to detect and to block this malware. So this was just one example using the built-in Microsoft security tool, but endpoint protection comes in many different shapes and sizes. Some you can get for free and some you are going to need to purchase. Generally speaking, the paid for software is going to give you much better protection levels and features. Endpoint protection is one of our biggest layers of defense when it comes to malware. They have become very good at spotting both known and unknown malware. However, nothing is perfect and you should only rely on endpoint protection as a last resort. We'll take a more detailed look at endpoint protection later in this course. One major way that malware can infect a computer and spread throughout the entire network is by using vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities are weaknesses in the operating system or application that can be used by an attacker. For example, the WannaCry ransomware used the Eternal Blue vulnerability to infect its victims and to spread to other computers. Once vulnerabilities are found, fixes are usually released pretty quickly. In fact, most exploited vulnerabilities are avoidable because a fix, also known as a patch, is available. This is why it's so important to keep all of our software up to date and to stay on top of those annoying operating system updates. Not only do they contain exciting features, but they also contain important security patches as well. So by keeping on top of the updates, you can protect your computer from the latest vulnerabilities. We're going to look at vulnerabilities, patching, and patch management later in this course. So, email security tools, endpoint protection software, and keeping everything up to date is really important when it comes to preventing malware. However, there is one thing that can stop almost all malware attacks before they ever reach our computers. What is it? Knowledge. And yes, as cringy as that sounds, I'm being 100% serious. Just by knowing how malware works and the methods that are used, we can stop a majority of the malware from ever reaching our computers. Knowing not to open those tempting looking attachments from an unexpected email. Knowing not to click links unless absolutely sure they are from a legitimate person. Thinking twice before downloading files from shady looking websites. And not plugging in strange looking USB sticks that we find laying around. From a personal perspective, that means educating yourself and your family. From a business perspective, it's all about regularly training your users on the best security practices. Knowledge is power, and that power will help you stop malware infections. The last thing I want to mention here is backups. Your last option, if the worst should happen, is to have a solid backup and data recovery plan in place. If you're infected with ransomware, for example, you will want to have a backup that you can recover your data from. Now, we're going to cover backups in a bit more detail later in this course. However, there are a few points about a good backup plan. First, make regular backups of your essential files. Regular backups mean that even if malware infects your systems, you can restore your files to a recent, clean version, minimizing your data loss. Now, ideally, you should back up your data to at least 2 locations, such as an external drive and a secure cloud storage service. Keep at least one backup completely offline. This is good practice for protection against ransomware, which often tries to encrypt files on connected network or cloud drives. However, an offline backup will remain safe and untouched. Lastly, don't forget to regularly test your backups for recovery to make sure they actually work. It's one thing to have a backup, but being able to successfully restore files from it is just as important. You do not want to be in a situation where you need to restore your data only to find out it's corrupted or it's missing. This video is part of our Security Plus in 31 Days course. If you like this video, you are gonna love the full course. Not only does it cover each exam topic in simple and easy to understand videos, but it also provides hands-on labs. These labs guide you through practical tasks like creating Trojans, cracking passwords, and sending your own phishing emails, giving you real-world experience and making your studies that much more engaging and effective. It doesn't stop there though. You also get a copy of our Security Plus in 31 Days ebook, which follows the course and covers each topic. You'll also get access to helpful downloads to support your learning, a private community where you can connect with fellow learners, and exclusive discounts. It really is the complete package to guide you through your Security Plus journey. Check it out in the description below. There are lots of ways that we can help stop malware infections. That said, malware is forever changing, being developed, and being improved. With the right tools and the policies in place, we can keep ourselves safe from most of it. But as with anything in cybersecurity, there is no silver bullet that will keep us 100% safe 100% of the time. It's also worth noting that malware is only one means to an end, meaning it's just one tool in a threat actor's arsenal. There are many other methods that they can use to gain access to our systems, steal our data, and disrupt our services. We'll cover more of those methods as we progress through this course. In the meantime, get yourself a good endpoint protection product. Keep your operating system and applications up to date, have good backups, and most of all, stay vigilant and don't click on those dodgy links. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. The support from you guys really does help this channel grow. Other than that, thank you for watching.